options. Michael has a volunteer, so if I turn no money, then I can afford the entrance. And there's also a curved wall, which I think is what I'm going to do. Because people won't take me seriously if I don't try. But it's kind of funny because this is no longer about. Thank you. Can I join you? Nice new ones. There you go. I own a private equity company, so got out of the military and started. Most of this stuff learning a lot. Absolutely love that. It's on so many different levels because it's just me. Being resident side those people, but also trying to find residents and deal with their issues. It's all over the board. Keeps me on. How about yourself? I'm sorry. I know we've met at least once. You actually get to be remembered until the end. How's your week been?
I just was there last week.
Okay.
I actually think that's the start.
We are just a few dollars short of $1 million today for the raffle. So if you want to come on over, please join in on the raffle. I know you're good for it. Yeah, he's coming. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Welcome to your 102nd year of Rotary. Well, that quieted them down in a hurry, didn't it? I have to do it one more time because you're listening this time. Don't worry, I'll get better. He's a rookie. There we go. All right, we're officially started now. So please go ahead and have a seat. You're already up here. That's right. Well, can't I introduce him first? Doreena's giving me instructions from over here, so it's, keep in mind, new president. So we're going to start off. Tom Robertson, who just joined us in March of this year, he's going to be doing the pledge and song. He's a financial advisor with Presidio Group Wealth, and he's going to be doing the pledge and your grand old flag.
All right. Now, no one told me I had to sing, so bear with me. So, yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No piano? Yep. Okay. All right, and a 1, and a 2, and a... Okay. This is the remix, Rotary. This is the remix. How do you prepare for a party in space? You plan it. One more? You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever and peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or a brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Please go ahead and grab a seat. Our inspiration is just a tad bit longer than it normally is. It's one that I picked out that I wanted to run today, and I think that you'll probably figure out why. So enjoy. Dorena, I screwed up. Let me cover my agenda. Sorry, rookie, what can I say? So actually, first I'd like to start by a moment of silence. Is Dick Guthrie, who is a member of ours since 2002 for the past 20 years, passed away on the 28th. He had been part of the Rowdy table, and cards are going to be passed around for his wife, Pat. So if we could have a moment of silence. Thank you. One other announcement is David Pashkow. He's been dealing with some illness as well, and so we also have cards going around for David. So if you can please keep him in your thoughts as well. Yes, Vicki? We do. Thank you. The memorial is going to be at 11 o'clock on August 6th at St. Philip's in the Hills. We know the Rowdy table will want to attend, and if anybody else needs further details, please let us know. So, thank you, and now our inspiration.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Please enjoy your lunch, and we'll get back to fellowship in about another 15, 20 minutes. You are on it. So first, I would like to go ahead and bring up Chris Dodge to take care of introducing our guests. Chris joined in February of 20, as you know, entertainment music. Chris Dodge Entertainment, University of Arizona, and hiker extraordinaire.
That was so nice. Thank you for your applause. I've been home alone for the last few days, so that's, it helps. Thank you, Rowdy Table. Guest of Bruce Jacobs. Please stand up so we can say hello to you. Aaron Jacobs. Where are you, Aaron? There you are. Hi, Aaron. I'm sorry. I'm trying to refrain from the joke I want to say about making him look a lot better and blessing us with your presence. And please come back any time you can, Aaron. We love you dearly. And another guest of Bruce is say hello to Will Dingledine. Hey, Will. And guest of Brett Stein, say hello to Adeline Stein. Hi, Adeline. That's all we got. Back to you, sir.
I believe Past is up.
Well, you thought you were rid of me, and I guess you're not. You got to put up with me just a couple more times. So this is that time when we got to talk about our new president, 102, and I get the privilege of saying some nice things about him. The best thing about him is sitting right there, Aaron. I have happened to have a chance to know them even before they were married. In fact, Janine is the one that said, I think there's something going on with those two. I'll come back to that later. So I think we're in for a real treat with Bruce as our incoming president. And I think rather than doing a traditional introduction, I'd like to tell you how Bruce got to be president of Rotary Club of Tucson, because it's kind of funny. You heard about hiking, right? You heard about all this hiking and stuff? Well, you would think for somebody that's been friends of Bruce all these years, we would have hiked together. Never had. I sent Bruce a note on Wednesday before Thanksgiving and said, hey, I just wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Bruce sends me back a note, hey, thanks for that. And I said, what are you doing this weekend? Are you going to have, an opportunity? You want to go do a hike? And he says, oh, I'd love to do a hike. By the way, we've never hiked in our life together. So we meet, we go on this really great hike, and we're walking. And Bruce says, I can't believe you agreed to be president. How'd that work and this, that, and the other? And so I started talking about just the process and how I was advised to be president and this, that, and the other. And I said, Bob Logan did a really great job at demystifying for the board, kind of all these issues and stuff. And I said, it's a fascinating process, Bruce. And he says, well, so who's it going to be this year? And I said, well, no, you can't use a hook yet. I said, who's it going to be this year? And I said, well, I really can't tell you, but you know what I'm going to tell you. You're on the incoming board. I don't mind telling you. I said, but you got to keep it a secret. And he said, who is it? And I said, he's walking with me right now. I have never seen such silence in my life. And anyway, so Bruce and I finished our walk. I can feel the smoke coming out of his ears the whole time. We ended up concluding our discussion in the parking lot. That was at least as long as a hike. The funniest part to me was I get home and I send Bruce a text and I said, dude, my instincts are that I had more fun on this hike than you did. And Bruce sends me back, and I said, if you'd like, I'm going to be around all weekend. We could hike tomorrow the next day. Bruce's text to me, and I've got it, says, Mark, I will never go hiking with you again. In fact, Mark, I will never, ever be alone with you again. With further ado, here's Bruce.
For those of you new to the club or guests, that's what's known as a past President's Club minute. So I'm sure you can figure that one out. So before I talk a little bit about, kind of looking out on this next year, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Rotary International Convention. Let me take that back. The last person to go to one of the convention was Bob Logan. He went to Hamburg, Germany. Next year is going to be in Australia. The irony is our president-elect Margaret is in Australia right now. The year after that is Singapore. I wouldn't recommend that because it's like the most expensive place on the planet. But then Calgary's the year after that. All I can say is thank God I did not have to go to any of those godforsaken places. I got to go in June to Houston, Texas. So, I mean, does it get any better than that? This is when I got there. So I know you can't tell from that picture, but that's the Houston Convention Center. It's 1,000,008 square feet. It is massive. How big is the convention center here? It's got to be 3 or 4 times larger than our convention center here. Like I say, it was absolutely amazing. There were 11,000 people in attendance, which I thought I've been to a lot of conventions. I've never been to one that big before. And what I found out is that typically the Rotary International Conference is anywhere from probably 30 to 45,000 people. So I will tell you this is those that attended were actually happy that it was only 11,000 people. So, this was fun. There was this really nice, kind of park-like setting that was right outside the convention center. Place was awesome if you were out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, but anything past that, well, you kind of wanted to stay in the convention center. Being in Houston, we kind of thought that, basically it was sort of an out-of-this-world convention. We were fortunate enough, we actually, within District 5500, which is our district, we had more people from our club that attended than any of the other clubs within our district. We had Ernie and Sally Montaigne, we had Angela Moore, Jeannie Zeta, Linda Vow, and Wes Wiggins, along with myself. So, had a great time. This was, there was a District 5500 dinner that we attended. Here's some of the attendees. The one, and I'm going to give you a real Cliff Notes version, there's Sally up there. And she was being recognized for this, and for some of the people that have been in the club longer than they're going to remember this, is there was a peace project that Sally wanted to beat out another club on, and so she came to the club foundation, and they said, well, how much do you need? And she said, I need $5,000. Well, they actually, I don't remember the exact number, I think it was around, they said, we'll give you like 8 or 9. And then they came back and said, you know what, if you can raise an additional $4,000, we'll go ahead and we'll match that. Well, Sally went out on a campaign. I know she got the district in San Diego to kick in money. At the end of the day, ended up raising over $100,000 that went for the peace project. This woman was from Kenya, and there were 2 warring factions, 2 villages that basically had been killing each other for literally generations. And so she started off, initially she got the warring factions to agree to allow their children to come together. And so she started with the commonality of these kids, kids are kids. And so they realized, hey, we're all kind of the same, and they started to develop friendships. And from there, eventually was able to invite the parents of these kids to come together and continued to work with them. So she was being recognized, this woman from Kenya, who spearheaded the project, and it's been over 7 years that they've had a death as a result of one of the villages, killing each other. So, I mean, it's a fascinating story, and, when Sally's back here, you should ask her about it sometime. There were some fun side trips that you were basically able to sign up for if you wanted to. This was the Kima Boardwalk. I thought it was going to be like this big shopping center or shopping district, restaurants, that type of thing. It was actually kind of a mini Coney Island, and the reason why I put that in there is, yes, I was on that, and there's even a period where you kind of like literally are just sort of hanging upside down other than spinning around forward and backwards, so that was kind of fun. They did recommend doing that before you had lunch, though. This is just kind of an aerial photo of what the boardwalk looked like. We also a few of us went to the Houston Space Center, and honestly, with the convention, I wish that I would have taken a lot more pictures. The Space Center was amazing. I mean, it had obviously the rockets. It had the Apollo capsules. It had the space shuttle. It was a great night. And picture of Jeannie there is. I ended up going, the others did, and I went to a night at the museum, and I know these are kind of some funky photos, but we were on the second floor of the museum, and we were having dinner, and I think that there might have been cocktails involved, and so I was kind of texting my son some of the interesting things that I was seeing at this museum. Now, the one thing that I wasn't able to take pictures of is they had this whole wing that was all gems, kind of like our museum that we have at the new gem museum at the Pima County Courthouse. I haven't been there yet. I have to go see it. I've heard it's absolutely fabulous, but I will tell you, the wing that they had there was absolutely amazing. So, just had great fellowship. This is Hank and her husband with some of us. This was, I don't remember, I think this was when we were at the Houston Space Center. They were out to dinner without me. I think that might have been the night I was at the museum. And as I mentioned before, a little bit of, sort of out of this world type of experience. The general sessions were amazing. The general sessions were in the morning. They were a few hours long. I mean, it was high intensity, high energy. Music was playing. People were dancing up front. There's literally 10 or 11,000 people in there. The speakers were absolutely phenomenal. And in the afternoon, they had all sorts of breakout sessions depending on what you were interested in, whether it was service project, whether it was youth-oriented, whether it was membership growth, things of that nature. So it was a real fun experience. And, the one thing I would say is, honestly, the convention itself is very affordable. And I know that I'll be back in the future for some of these international conventions. And, the one thing I'll say, and you can talk to any of the others that ended up attending these, is, when you're in Rotary, everybody's your friend. Like, every Rotarian is your friend. And so, you'd sit down somewhere, and naturally, like, everybody was from Rotary, and you would just start talking to people and just got into these incredible conversations with people. So I would highly encourage people to consider going to one of these conventions. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to my remarks. And this is where Dorena said that I had to say something nice about Mark. So, can I use the line from the close of administration? Your wife is lovely. But no, but seriously is, Mark, I need to thank you for your leadership of the club, mentorship of me, and our friendship that we've had for so many years, and certainly the relationship we've developed over this past year. I mentioned at close of administration, it was sort of like, he was the right person at the right time in the right place, and there's no question about he was a great centennial president that we ended up having. We turned the corner on COVID, as well as attrition of membership as a result of COVID. We increased our diversity, women, corporate, family, younger. We had an amazing centennial year. We had record amount raised that we donated to JTED, thanks to Joni and Jim Lubinsky for their efforts. And probably the toughest decision, every president has tough decisions that they have to make. Certainly Bob and Jen in dealing with COVID. Mark's decision to make the move downtown. There's no question that was a tough decision, but we also know that was the right decision to be able to make. So, Mark, if you could come up here, I know you have been waiting for this moment. Mark gets his past President's Club pin.
Check that out.
And he gets a banner. So now he's going to have to find more wall space in his office, which he has no wall space.
Thanks, Bruce.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. I could probably spend the rest of the afternoon thanking almost each and every one of you in here, but definitely need to recognize a few people. First is Dorena and Carrie. You have no idea how fortunate we are to be able to have those two working for us as our executive director. Otherwise, so many of the things that they do would fall on our shoulders, and it would be a rotating thing, and candidly, we would screw it up, which Dorena and Carrie could absolutely attest to. So thank you to the two of you. I look forward to this next year. If I could ask you to hold your applause for a minute, I want to introduce my new board. So board members, if you could stand up don't worry, I'll introduce you first before you. Sit down, Joe. Sit down. Not yet. So first I would like to introduce past 101 to stand. Is Margaret Higgins, unfortunately, as she is in Australia right now. I have, as far as directors, Rob Lemaster for community service. Joe Danishevsky, Youth Services. Now you can stand up, Joe. Cindy Barbie, Public Relations. Jeannie Zeta, Service Projects and Youth Exchange. Alan Rogers, Social. Wes Wiggins, Membership. Chris Dodge twisted his arm doing Sergeant at Arms for a second year. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to ask, no, he's still on vacation. Dan Combs is, do we call him Sergeant in Arms in Waiting? But actually Dan is working with Chris this year and will take over as Sergeant at Arms next year for Margaret's year. Marcy Euler as Secretary and Glenn Ewing as Treasurer. So thank you all very much for your service to the board. Few others I want to have stand up real quick, and then we'll give them a round of applause. Okay, Joe, this is your tune. Joe Danishevsky, the Peace Project for District 5500. Linda Vow, Treasurer for District 5500. And Jeannie Zeta, Youth Exchange for 5500. So thank you. You know, the number of past presidents, I mean, besides Mark, Jen, Bob, Chuck, John, I mean, the list goes on, is the willingness to support the incoming president. So for any of you that are ever contemplating it or going on a hike with somebody, just realize that you have incredible support out there. And I really want to thank membership. I've had so much feedback from our members with a lot of great ideas, and I'm looking for a lot more of that. And some of the ideas I'll take under advisement. And last but not least is I want to recognize my wife Erin for the support that she provides me, whether it's this endeavor or as she has for the last 25 to 30 years. So thank you. I mentioned in the Tucson, I said it. It takes a village to run this club. No president could do it without basically all of you. Past presidents always refer to my year, and you know what? I'll probably be one of those people too. In the future, I'll refer to it as my year. But this isn't my year. This is our year, and this is our year together. So, in order for us to be successful, we do have to do it together. We have to do it as a team, because basically Rotary is nothing without its members. That is truly where our power lies, and we're a powerful club. So, I asked myself, what is Rotary? We're much more than a service club. We're much more than do-gooders. Is basically what we do is we create memories and we inspire. And I want for people to think just a little bit about that. And I'm going to come back to those two in particular. Jennifer Jones, she was our first female president. And her theme is Imagine. And so, not everybody recognized that it was the president of Ukraine who was playing Imagine on the piano. So that was, I probably should have announced that first, but that obviously is the reason for that inspiration as well. She had four main points for the theme this year under Imagine. First is impact, increase our impact within Rotary, and how we're going to go about doing that. Expand reach is be able to recruit more members into the Rotary Club. And you know what? This past year is Rotary actually increased their membership for the first time in many, many years, as we're now up to 1.4 million as far as a service organization around the world. Okay, so impact, expand reach, enhance engagement, and I'll be talking a bit more about that, and adapt. And, everybody had to adapt during COVID, and we had to adapt during COVID, and quite frankly, we knocked it out of the park. And that was due to many, many people within this organization. So, I go back and, with the theme imagine, as far as imagining the possibilities, is imagine the good that Rotary can do within our community. But basically the great things that we do or the great things that you do is, I ask myself, what else can we accomplish? We inspire those that are impacted by what we do. We inspire those that have benefited by the impact we've made. Is we create lasting memories, not only for those that give, but for those that receive. Do you think that the kids down in San Carlos still remember the day that they were given that ball field instead of the dirt lot? Do you think that that's still emblazed on their memories? Do you think with the wheelchair project that we did down in Nogales, is what kind of an impact that had people that never had that luxury of being able to transport themselves around? And also, what kind of impact did that make on their families? What about for the Rotarians that participated in those projects? Are those memories that are still like blazed into your brain? And I think that the answer is yes. And what about JTED? Does JTED imagine what they can do with our donations and the impact that they can make on the future of our community? And the answer is absolutely. So, I can imagine a community with a higher literacy rate, a higher graduation rate, a higher standard of living. So I hope you can as well. So, after all, isn't that why we're all members of Rotary? Don't we all want to give back to our community and make it a better place? Like the past presidents, there's always the perennial goal to grow membership. We have to grow membership, otherwise, quite frankly, as clubs wither and die. And so one of the things that we have is our 5-year plan that was set out by a number of people in this room was to grow our membership to 300 by 2025. That's a big challenge, especially what we went through in dealing with COVID. But you know what? We can get there. What it means is for the next 3 years is that we need to have a net 2020 of 20 to 25 new members per year. And when I say net, is we're always going to have some attrition. So I think that we can get there, but the question that I need to ask is, what are you willing to do to help us achieve that goal? So some others are simple. Provide great speakers. Great speakers help with retention. It helps with recruitment. You want to be here at the meeting to hear them. It educates you. Other people want to come as guests, and when they see what kind of fellowship it is that we have here, they want to join and become part of us. Strengthen our fellowship. This is an important one for me this year, and it's going to be involved in a variety of ways, and this is where I need feedback from you. How do you feel that we can enhance the experience for our membership and be able to increase it from there? I want to look at additional service projects this year. We as a result of Centennial, COVID, things of that nature, some of those things just got sort of pushed down a little bit. And I want to get back to it. And some of you might be thinking, kind of going, God, we do the car show. Can we really take more things on? But we also need to think a little bit differently about what our service projects are. Let me ask you this. Would a group of us wearing Rotary shirts showing up at one of your kids' or grandkids' soccer game, bringing water and fruit and cheering the team on, could that be considered community service? Yeah, it can. Can turning out for a Sugar Skulls game or going to U of A baseball game or softball game, can that be community service? Yes, it can. So, we need to. The other important thing that we need to do a much better job on is we need to post everything. is we need pictures of Rotarians wearing Rotary shirts, going out into the community, whatever it is that we do, and we need to post it. You need to post it. We don't need to worry about it being on the Rotary website, as many of us are connected through Facebook and other social media. And so sharing those things, because what happens is the greater exposure and the more fun people see us having out there, whether it's a service project, cleaning up a park, building something, things of that nature, is people will want to ask us about Rotary. They're going to want us to join. So, lost my train of thought. So, just to kind of wrap up on that thought is, our focus this year is going to be on the future. Our focus is on our next 100 years. Our focus, our speakers, besides looking out into the future, it's also going to be on timely topics. There's a lot of stuff happening in Tucson, a lot of good stuff happening in Tucson, and we don't always hear about it. And so we're going to be looking for some speakers that can fill that area as well. So I had to laugh as far as with Jennifer Jones, as far as the her goal, as far as Imagine and the 4 themes that came under it. I had done my goals prior to months ago, prior to the convention, prior to our district governor's installation, which a number of us went to a couple of weeks ago. So Anita McDonald, who is our district governor, her goals were inspire equals E3. Empower, engage, and enjoy. So my goals for 2023 is increase engagement, which I've talked a bit about, inspire and create memories, enhance member experience, and to create a companion club. And I'm not going to get into that today. It's things that your board will be exploring with me. There was a lot of good information that I learned at the Rotary Convention, and I think that it's a way for us to expand our reach and expand our club. And so I have one last goal, and that is Jen ran, Mark fished, and I hike. So this next year my theme is going to be miles of memories, because really isn't that what life all about? Is basically life's our journey. It's about creating memories. And so what does that mean? It's too bad Bob Logan isn't here today, because I was going to say, unlike some presidents that, kind of wanted to have a 5th goal up there of, losing 25 pounds, congratulations on meeting your goal, Bob. So, my goal, a lot of people, it's 10,000 steps a day, which is basically about 5 miles, which works out to be 35 miles a week, which is 1,825 miles in a year. And so I want to do at least 5 miles a day. In the issue of fairness is for the first half of this year, I've done just under 42 miles a day, so which is closer to 6 miles. And so what I want is 42 a week. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So basically, I want you to help me on my journey. I want to do this together, where we're going to be able to create memories together. And so, just like Mark, just like Jen, I'm going to be looking for some of you to support me. And whether you want to do it by the mile, whether you want to do it by the week, however you want to do it, and you're going to decide where the funds are going to go. They can go to the foundation toward your Paul Harris. It can go to the President's discretionary fund. You make the decision. I'm hoping that maybe, some past presidents will say, hey, I'll sponsor you for the whole year. So, but we'll talk, Mark. We can go on a hike to go ahead and discuss that. So basically, to go ahead and conclude, is what I want for the next year is for us to create memories together. I want us to have fun this next year and inspire the world through Rotary. So thank you very much for me to be able to serve as your next president. And I can't forget the book. That's not the book. That's not the book either. Well, there we go. The Butterfly Storybook, Doing Good, Helping Others by Young Emerging Writers in the Caribbean. So obviously that will go into what? Reading Seed. Make way for books. So now I'm back off cue again, Doreen. What can I say? So I'll get better because I won't have to speak next week. Now it's time for our birthdays. And so our first birthday up is Wayne Myers. Wayne has been a member since 1992. His classification is finance, financial planning. He had previously been with Presidio Group Wealth Management, U of A, and basically the man that makes our golf fellowship happen. So he was born on July 4th in a small town, and something you probably didn't know about him is it Algona? Algona, Iowa, he was born by none other than his father, who was just out of med school. So, Wayne.
Thank you, President Bruce. How's that sound? President Bruce. You could have probably want more strokes on the golf course now. The cool thing about being a July birthday boy is that we are always able to watch the newest president nervously work his way through his first meeting. And it's always good to get it behind you, I know. So to tell you a little bit more of the rest of the story about my dad. He was off the farm at the age of 18 in Iowa and made his way to Des Moines and entered a medical school, a small college in Des Moines. And at the age of 20, he had delivered over 200 babies. I guess it was probably a free women's clinic in Des Moines. He didn't know it at the time, but he was practicing to deliver me about 2 years later. So in 1932, in the middle of the Depression, he moves to Algona, Iowa, meets my mom, they get married, and in 1934, Wayne pops out. Now, I was 2 days late, so my mom is not too happy with me about now. She lived to be 101, my dad lived to be 97. So I've had a great family, wonderful experiences with you all. The records of Rotary, Dorina, are wrong. I was a member of this club in 1977. What's fouled up somewhere along the line is that I momentarily left and joined the morning club for a while, but then came back. I was introduced to Rotary by Jim Wood's grandfather, Bill Wood, and mentored by Don Shropshire and others. So I go back a long time. I've been in Rotary over half my life, and it's been a great ride. Thank you very much.
Next birthday boy is Alan Rogers, whose birthday is going to be on July the 18th. Been a member since 2009, medical and healthcare physician with Arizona Community Physicians, University of Colorado, Baylor College of Medicine. And what you probably did not know about Alan is he took the homecoming queen to the prom. So come on up, Alan.
Hold your applause. No, okay. That is true. That's my greatest achievement. So, never happen again. Thank you for doing this for my birthday, and I'm so honored to be at President Bruce Jacobs' first meeting. Very happy to have my birthday there. And I think we're going to have an excellent year, and I'm very happy to be on the board and working with Bruce in this next year. So it's going to be a great Rotary year, a great board, great fun, I think, coming up. I do have a suggestion, a Rotary project. We could all get our shirts on and go help finish paving Broadway. That would be good. That would serve the community. What can I say? I have actually been a member of this club since 1985 and had lost my way and had a brief hiatus out of the club and then came back. So I have two sponsors. Roger Snap first sponsored me in So I thank him, and I've talked to him lately. He's doing fine, and I hope he'll come back to the club at some point. And then Danielle Baglieri, I don't know if she's here, sponsored me the second time, so I'm very happy to do that. So my birthday is July 19th, and I think people sometimes are nervous about giving the exact year, and I'm happy to do that. But I just want to tell you, I will be starting my 69th year here, born in 1954. You are not 68 until you have completed 68 years, right? So that's the way we count. I am not good at jokes or humor, so therefore I'm going to bring my little feature thing, which is I call news you can news you can use. And the first one is from the papers. BA5 COVID is now the dominant variant in Pima County, according to, I think her name's Teresa Cullen, of the Pima County Medical Examiner, whatever, office. In my practice here, we see, I'll just tell you, COVID is rampant. Lots of people are getting it right now. The difference is everybody's been immunized, so nobody is dying or getting really, really sick. It's a fairly minor illness, but it is really going around, so you still have to kind of pay attention and wear masks on airlines, I would, and things like that. Everybody's been vaccinated. My analogy there is you all have been vaccinated against tigers, but what we have now are lions. So they're similar, but it's a different virus, so you're not scot-free. All right, other news you can use here, or lose. From the Daily Star, Pima County reported its first monkeypox case, according to County Health Department Director Teresa Cullen in a press conference Tuesday morning. Monkeypox virus is spread primarily through skin-to-skin contact, etc. All right, so this is a rare time where older people, and I know there are some older people in this club, catch a break because smallpox vaccinations were routine until 1972. So everybody before that, almost all of you, have had a smallpox vaccination, which is going to give you some probable, I'll soften that, immunity against monkeypox. So you can relax somewhat. The last is in our, Mark Irvin and I will tell you my joke, which is, did you hear about the one-armed fisherman? He caught a fish this big.
Okay, what? I need that. And thank you for that check, by the way. And our last birthday boy, whose birthday is on July 19th, is joined the club in 2009. Classification was real estate, title insurance, retired from title security. U of A, University of Phoenix. It actually says right here that he has a new job as the president of a large nonprofit here in Tucson. But something you probably did not know about this birthday boy is that he willingly jumped out of a perfectly good airplane and lived to tell about it. So if you could welcome up Bruce Jacobs. Thank you, President Bruce. God, that sounds weird. So I was born back during the nuclear age. Too much? So, okay. I want to thank my sponsor, Mike Schulte. I also, President Bruce, I would like to give you a check for your first 250 miles of your endeavor. And last but not least, I wanted to do a special shout out for a birthday. Unfortunately, she's no longer around to be able to celebrate it, but tomorrow on July 14th would be my mother's 100th birthday. So way to go, Mom, and take it away, President Bruce. You know, Bruce, you possibly could be a contender to be a president of this Rotary Club, because that was almost a past President's Club minute. So, next is I would like to invite up Scott Vaughn for our Paul Harris presentation. Scott? Oh, two great Rotarians. The Paul Harris Fellow recognition is named for Paul Harris, as you know, who founded Rotary with 3 business associates in Chicago in 1905. And this recognition was established much later, 55 years ago, to express appreciation for the contributions to the Rotary Foundation for programs that save the lives of people around the world and enhance friendship and understanding and promote world peace. Today we honor 2 members who together have been Rotarians for almost 50 years. They're both wearing their new Paul Harris Fellow pins. Let's begin with Mary Ann Freitas, who's receiving her Paul Harris Fellow +5. Mary Ann and Chuck are native Californians. Mary Ann attended modeling school while she was still in high school and worked as a model at that time. This wardrobe focus helped her develop a charming idiosyncrasy as an adult. And we learned about that in this very room at a recent meeting. Her words are, "I tag all my outfits in my closet with what, where, and when so that I rotate what people see me wearing." But there's more. San Jose State is Mary Ann's alma mater, and 38 years ago, she and Chuck moved to Tucson to start Falcon Pools. And then in 2009, after 25 years of running this honorable and successful business, they began a well-earned retirement. Next month, Mary Ann and Chuck will celebrate 58 years of marriage. They have 2 kids, 3 grandkids, plus 4 greats, and 1 more on the way. Mary Ann joined our Rotary Club in 1994, has been club secretary twice, a club board member, and on the board of our club's foundation. Oh yeah, she was our 90th club president, and only the 3rd woman to hold the position in our club at that time. Mary Ann was co-chair of the Classics Car Show in 2012, along with Tom Strasberg, and her leadership continues in several aspects of every car show and continues to be astounding. She takes great pride in urging member involvement in our signature fundraiser. When asked why she supports Rotary International, which is commonly abbreviated as RI, which will get me finished quicker, Mary Ann responded, "We can see what we do in our own community, but from Tucson, we cannot identify the many worldwide international projects where we could make the most difference. RI helps us identify those projects and provides effective oversight of the use of our donations, and then follows up to see that the projects are completed. What a great opportunity to join with other clubs in world service." Well, congratulations, Mary Ann, on your Paul Harris Fellow +5, and thank you for your service. Dorothy Krett is receiving her Paul Harris Fellow +5 as well. Dot was the oldest of 6 kids. She was born in Newark, New Jersey. When she was 3, her parents, David and Estelle, asked her how she would like to move to Arizona. Well, no matter how she responded, welcome to Phoenix. Dot's Bachelor of Science degree in education was earned from the University of Arizona. And then at the University of San Francisco, she obtained her master's in rehab administration. In 1984, DKA opened its doors, Dot Krett Associates. Its mission, to help people become employable and employed. That's right, job training for people who were disabled or faced other barriers to employment. And then she developed Archive Advantage, also as a training program that provides data transformation, scanning, and digitizing. And finally, Dot acquired the nationally franchised Pack Mail store 8 years ago that provides packing and shipping and small gift items and greeting cards. And at its Broadway Village location, the producers are trained in logistics, in retail, and customer service. She's married to Michael Lex. They have 2 fabulous sons, David, 33, and Nathan, 27. And here is why Dot supports RI and its programs. Everyone has a responsibility to leave the world a better place. And through the efforts of Rotary International, we can all help to achieve that goal. So thank you, Dot Krett, for your continued support of RI programs. But wait, you know there's more. We have a mix of special gifts of value to you, and also gifts of little or no value. Aha.
Marianne, we have an elegant and valuable four-way test plaque. If you have one already, you can give it to Chuck. And, Marianne, we have this book, How to Get the Most Out of Being a Volunteer by Emily Kittle Kimball, to possibly nudge you to an even higher level of service. And for you, Dotsie, we have a framed copy of Rotary's four-way test for your office, or just to digitize. And finally, since you love to make us laugh, here's a 35-year-old book about sniglets. Do you remember sniglets? Yeah. What sniglets are is any word that does not appear in the dictionary but should be there. For instance, like what is that sticky substance on the floor of the theater? Cinemuck. I mean, that's a great word. So please join me now in congratulating our awardees.
Congratulations. And next up is Rob LeMaster to introduce our newest member obtaining his blue badge.
Nope, just an introduction.
Oh, introduction.
Yeah. Thank you, President Bruce. There, we said it. It's my pleasure today to introduce Tom Licklider. He's with Anchorwave. He's an internet marketing and networking guru. Tom is a Tucson native and after high school, but no, he didn't go to Sal Point. He went to Pima College. He went to Pima College to play basketball, but unfortunately a severe knee injury curtailed his dream of an NBA career. He's very active in the community with the Boys and Girls Club, the Christiani Foundation, and mentoring Tucson's kids. He's an avid mountain biker, like it says, competitive axe thrower. That doesn't tell the whole story because Tom actually competed in the World Axe Throwing Championships in 2019. He loves archery, so anything sharp and dangerous, I think he likes to throw it or shoot it. But anyway, without further ado, Tom Licklider.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. So as Rob mentioned, I am a native of Tucson, born and raised here. It's funny, somebody asked me the other day, they said, Tom, have you lived here your whole life? I said, well, not yet. Moron. Anyway, yes, I joined February of 28th of this year. And in those 4 short months, I've been a greeter, I believe, 5 times. At my STAR orientation meeting, I met Bobby Larson, who roped me into, he enthusiastically encouraged me to join the corporate sponsorship committee. So I've been involved in raising money for the car show, and that's been great. What a great group of individuals to work with there. Let's see, I sold beer at the 4th Avenue Street Fair. I sold raffle tickets at the Saba Home Show. I joined 2 other committees, went to home hospitality at Curtis Dawson's house. I led the pledge, met with my mentor. I guess my point is, especially for new members, get involved, Get involved. Don't just be a lunch-a-muncher, okay? Get involved and be part of this Rotary. So in closing, yes, I am a nationally ranked competitive axe thrower. In 2019, I competed in the World Championships. I'm a 7-time regional axe throwing champion. I travel around the country throwing axes. I'm also very proficient at knife throwing competitions. I'm great at target archery. I know 8 different techniques to crack a bullwhip, so I guess my point is, don't piss me off. I'm joking. I'm actually a man of very deep Christian values. I wouldn't hurt a fly, honestly. And I'm just very, very honored, and I want to say thank you to all of you for allowing me the privilege of being a member of this Rotary Club. God bless you all.
Take it away, Chris.
Congratulations. Yeah, you can give him a round of applause. With a name like Licklider, how do you not always have a burnt tongue? That's funny, guys. Think about it. It's cerebral, but it's funny. All right, we did the raffle already. Bob Logan chose the number, and it was observed by many people over there. So look at your raffle tickets, and if you have 583930, you are the winner. Is it you, Matt? No, it's not you. Anybody? Who's me? Wes? Congratulations. I got $50 for you. And did you win the $600 in the pot? No, you did not. There you go. Mark, take it. You have the first announcement.
Okay, so you see up on the slide here just the schedule for the vote for the board of directors. This got moved up a bit this year because of things going on in national. Anyway, July 20th is when we're going to announce the candidates. We're going to distribute the lists, etc. You'll get to read their bios, etc. 27th is when we're going to be doing the distributing the ballots. Absentee ballots will be out at that time. And then on August 3rd is when we'll announce who is selected as the directors. I will tell you guys, when you see the list and slate of candidates, you're going to go, oh my God, how do I even begin to pick? So everybody's involved in that process. Thank you.
And now Bruce Richardson has an announcement for the hike.
Greetings. We're going to be, can you guys hear me? Is that coming through? We're going to be doing the first hike of President Bruce's year in his position this Saturday. We're going to go up to the top of Mount Lemmon. We'll be hiking from the top down, coming out Marshall Gulch. We've got an intermediate to a difficult hike, about 9 miles. We hope you join us. We'll be leaving La Buzz on the east side at about 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Thanks, Bruce. Tom, I'll have you come up. Now we have a blue badge presentation.
Thanks, Bruce. It's a pleasure for me to introduce John Harned. He's a military brat, and it shows in everything that he does. He was born in a naval hospital in Maryland and moved 17 times before he made it to Tucson. And he hopes to make this his last move, and we do as well. After college, John joined the Navy and became a helicopter pilot, serving tours in the South Pacific and the Middle East. He's logged over 1,000 hours in training missions and has helped over 800 pilots receive their wings. In spite of the harrowing activities of landing on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean, he tells me that his worst, most fearful experience was riding with Chuck Freitas in a golf cart at the last car show. After leaving the Navy, John and his wife Alicia settled here in Tucson, where she is a C-130 pilot at Davis-Monthan. He started his business, Lynn Capital, when he arrived here in 2021. He's working with investor clients and helping customers achieve the American dream of home ownership through rent-to-own programs. If you've got some extra money in your pocket, see John. I remember at last year's car show, we were setting up on Friday afternoon, and there, as always, was a flurry of activity and excitement everywhere. Pat Zumbush came up to me and said, "Who's that kid over there? He's working his backside off and just doing things that needed being done without any supervision." It was John, and that's what he does. He does what needs to be done. He's tireless. He's relentless. To use a term coined by President Bruce in his first letter was, he's more than a lunch member. He's involved, committed, and loyal. He gives back to his country and to his community. John earned his blue badge in near record time, second only to Mitch Pisek, I believe. And I'm proud to present him with his blue badge today. John.
Well, Tom forgot to tell me that I was supposed to actually put some words together, and having to follow what monkeypox, lunch munchers, and Cinemuck. I'm going to keep it short. This is the first in many years. Looking forward to meeting you all. Thank you.
Jeannie, you are up.
All right. Hopefully this is working.
Yep, it's on.
It's on. All right. So anyway, as Bruce was saying, the goal this year is to have everybody engaged in the car show. It's time to get engaged with selling tickets. We've got the last of the packets here this week and next week. We're hoping that anybody that wasn't here gets here next week so we don't have to spend money to mail them to them. Our target this year is 30,000 tickets to be sold, and we are currently at about 12% of that. We're at 3532 today. We've got online sales, only 300 tickets sold so far through the early part of this week, and last year at this point we had probably over 3,000 sold online. So I want to just mention quickly the other ways you can sell tickets: through events. There is a sign-up list in the back. Through ticket selling partners, if there are organizations or agencies that you would like to recruit them to be ticket selling partners, they get a part of the proceeds, and then we would get a part of it. And moving on, Classic Club tickets and donations are the other ways of getting tickets sold. If you haven't been out to the the car show website, there's the actual address of where you go. That's where you go buy tickets. You could actually pay for your tickets if you want to online. Encourage people to go there. Next slide. If you go there, you'll find this is the other really cool tool. People were asking me to please present again, which is the email template. So if you go to that same website, email, you'll go to this site, put in your name, put in the addresses, the email addresses of people you'd like an email to go to asking them to buy tickets. And voila, you hit the send button and it goes, whether you put in 3 people or whether you put in 100, it will go to all of those people. And then the next slide shows, this shows what they get. Well, you can't read that whole thing, but it basically comes to you so that there's none of this carbon copying their emails going, their addresses going out to everybody. And the system does not keep their email addresses, so do not worry about putting your email addresses of friends in there that somebody's tracking it. They will not be tracked. You can't go back and resend it. You have to re-input it. And then the email comes to them, and if they click the button to buy tickets or donate, it automatically goes to the buy page, and it has your name filled in already to be credited for those sales. And that's really cool. And the next slide, the other thing I want to just really stress to do, Cindy Barbie's been doing a great job of getting things on the Tucson Classics Car Show Facebook page. If you would go to that page and like it, you will then get messages from it. The next one here is when you start to get the posts coming to you, you should like them, share them, comment on them, and spread that out. Spread the love and the awareness about the car show. It will really increase sales, and it gives them the link to buy the tickets. And the last slide is the business cards are here now, ready. You can pick them up after the meeting if you like. They're kind of nice to have in your pocket or your wallet. And if you're talking to somebody and they say, well, do you take credit cards? And you say, you can go to this online site and buy the tickets there and put in your credit card, and you will be either automatically entered or they'll be mailed to you, because I handle the online sales. I'll be glad to send them out. And I'll be doing reports every other week of who has had tickets credited to them, so you know who to thank for buying. And I hope that you all get really engaged now. We've got about 3 months until the event, and we've got a ways to go. But you'll
Thank you,
do
Jeannie.
it. I know you will.
Just a couple other quick announcements before I go ahead and wrap it up from there. One is for the family members' leave of absence, those that are exempt. As far as the meal costs here at TCC have gone up from $25 to $26.50, so I needed to pass that information along. Next week we have Renee Gonzalez, the CEO from Long Realty, doing a market update, and if you've never seen their updates, they're phenomenal, as well as kind of with interest rates going up, where we believe that the market might be headed. In order to go ahead and wrap it up from there, I know we ran just a couple minutes late. One, I wanted to thank all of our guests that were able to come today, as well as those of you that might have tuned in virtually. Just a quick reminder about the scholarship cups on everybody's table. If you don't donate regularly, if you'd consider donating to the scholarship cups. Remember to turn in your badge. Happy birthday to Wayne Allen and the other guy. Congratulations to Marianne and Dot. Welcome, Tom, to the club. And John, congratulations on your blue badge. And just a toast to a year filled with fellowship and fun. Let's inspire the community as well as each other. This amazing club has created so many memories over the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. We are adjourned. 3 minutes, 47 seconds.
Good job, my boy.
Thank you. Yes,
Glad to get it behind
glad to get that one behind me.
you. You did great.
Thank you.
It's not easy.